Everyone sells, whether it be a product, service, knowledge, or expertise. Clients buy you before they buy the solution you provide. To be tops in your field, you should include constant training and advice from fellow professionals to hone your skills in your area. You develop a trust in your prospective customer's mind that you can provide the solution to their needs, and you create a relationship built upon that trust. If you're anything like me, then you do your best thinking when you're alone. You want to start a business, you have a plan, and you know what you want to get out of it. You just don't know how to put it out there to the public. You don't know how to get the ball rolling. So after you have your business plan, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to get out there and market yourself and build your massage clientele when you're not the kind of person who is a good public speaker or likes to be in focus groups or large meetings. You're not a cold caller, so to speak. So stick with me through this video and I'll give you a pretty good start on how to build your massage business when you're an introvert or you're just shy. The first thing that I did when I rented my office was I found local professionals, people who offered something that was different from me, and I wanted to start networking with them. So what I did is I sent out letters to chiropractors and acupuncturists and physical therapists and basically anybody who was within maybe a 5 to 7 mile radius of my office. And in this letter, I introduced who I was, I described the style of massage that I do, and I offered the doctor or a member of their staff a free half-hour massage with me so that they could see the style of massage that I did and then feel comfortable referring their patients to me. Now, I printed out at least 40 or 50 letters, and if this is something that you do, have your friends and family help you stuff envelopes. It's not a lot of work. You're gonna pay for the postage, but believe me, in the end, it's gonna be worth it. I mailed those letters out, and then about a week later, I followed each one up with a phone call. And you may ask, why not email? And here's the thing, back when I did this in '96, I just dated myself, nobody was using email at that time, so I didn't have a choice. But now, I think the reason that I would recommend snail mail is because it's so rare and it'll really stand out. And I think there's something a little bit classy about it as well, because everybody uses emails and they're so easy to just click on the next one and forget about it. I chose mainly chiropractors, and I did end up networking with one, and we referred patients and clients back and forth for about 18 or 19 years, and it was a very solid networking relationship. We actually became friends, we bartered with each other, and whenever there was a situation where I had a client and I just knew they would benefit from chiropractic adjustments, I would tell them about her. I would be able to speak from a point of view because I had had adjustments from her, and she was able to do the same. So it worked out beautifully, and I highly recommend that as one of the very first things that you do when you establish your office, is get your business name set up on Google. It's free. You can put your address in Google Maps as part of this business listing. It's very, very easy to do. All you have to do literally is type into Google, list my business name, and it'll come right up. And I think that's very important to make sure that you're in the maps and you're in the listing. Return all your calls and emails in the same business day that you get them, because if you don't, that potential client is just gonna go to the next therapist on the list, and there's just too much competition out there now. And getting on top of those phone calls is more important than ever. And emails. Stay away from running Groupons and coupons and things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with coupons. Let's just get that out of the way, because I know this is kind of a controversial subject. There's a lot of people out there who have gained a lot of business from running things like Groupon. However, it's been my experience, and with several co-workers of mine, that they tend to attract what we call one and done customers. They have no intentions of scheduling with you again. They are there simply to take advantage of a discounted service. Focus on specials that require the client to make multiple appointments. So for example, two of my most popular specials were buy a package of 6 massages and get 10% off. The client pays for the 6 upfront in one lump sum. You keep track in your records of when, you number the visits, you keep track of when the package is done. They are getting a 10% discount, which is a great deal for them. You're guaranteed that they're gonna make at least 6 appointments with you. Another one that was really popular for me was every 6th massage, you would get a free half hour. And I stress the word free when you are advertising for these specials because people love that word. It is something about the psychology of the word free which stands out and grabs people's attention more than saying percentage off or something else. I learned that a long time ago from someone who was a mentor, and they were absolutely 100% correct. When you throw the word free in there, you get a lot more response. When you're first getting started, I highly recommend having availability in the evenings and on weekends because that is when most people aren't working. And you need to keep in mind that when the majority of the public is not working is when you could potentially be very busy. So evenings, weekends, government holidays, you gotta make yourself available and not have a very strict and regimented schedule in the beginning because people will have a hard time scheduling appointments with you if they can't get in when it's most convenient for them. And I don't recommend keeping very late hours into the night. Maybe you could take your last massage at 7. Customize the session for each client so that they feel very important and taken care of. And here's something to remember. Customization nurtures loyalty. Keep excellent notes on each client. Keep notes, of course, on how you're progressing with whatever physical pain you're helping them work with, but also keep notes on things that they mention that they like. Do they like the hot towels on their back or feet? If so, make sure they're always on hand. Did they make a comment about a certain type of music that they like or a certain aromatherapy scent that they liked? Keep notes on that kind of stuff. And before that client comes in, prepare your office and make it ready for them so that it's personalized. And it definitely nurtures, I guess is the best word, it definitely nurtures loyalty from that client. I also think it's a good idea to refer to your notes about what you're doing as far as a pain management plan when you're talking to the client so that they know that you're keeping track, that you're taking the time to write down what you're doing, what seemed to help and what didn't, and that you're really putting a lot of attention and detail into their pain management. Suggesting or implying to them before and after the session that massage therapy is an ongoing healing process and it takes time to heal is something you're planting that seed in their brain that they're gonna have to come back to you in order to progress. And realistically, nobody's pain is ever going to be cured in one visit. And that leads me to my next tip. Nobody can cure pain. And I think that's a very tricky word that you probably should stay away from. We are not doctors, and the golden rule in massage school is that we don't diagnose. So don't make promises that you can't keep. Because once you've said something to a client, then you're held to that expectation, and if you don't follow through, that client is going to be disappointed and probably stop coming to you. So I like to say things that are like, I would love to keep seeing you to help with your maintenance of your pain, to help get you on a plan for pain management. Those are safe words, and those are exactly what we were trained to do. You're within your scope of training. You are not making a promise that you can't keep, and you are letting the client know at the same time that coming back multiple times is going to be beneficial to them. I checked periodically, maybe a few times a year, to make sure that my prices were within the same range as the other massage therapists in my area, because it's very easy to highball your way right out of that neighborhood or that area that you're working in if you are charging very overpriced massages. The more education you receive, you can increase your rates. You never want to price yourself too low or too high, so you always want to make sure that you're within the same realm as people who are in your area. And of course, I think everybody knows this, but it's worth mentioning, carry your business card everywhere you go. Hand it out whenever you feel comfortable. It should be very short and sweet, very simple, not too many pictures, not too much text. It shouldn't be busy looking. Keep it really simple. There's this, it's called the KISS method, and it's K, keep it simple, silly. And that's kind of how you want to look at everything when it comes to running your business. Don't overcomplicate it, because you're going to stress yourself out. Keep everything as simple as you possibly can, especially if you're like me and you're an introvert and you're shy and you have a lot of anxiety about bringing clients in your door. If you overcomplicate it, it's just going to make it worse, and that goes for all of your advertising as well as your business cards. So those are my best how to get clients in the door tips. Now, I have so much more to share with you guys, so this is going to be part 1 of a series. So be sure to check in. Pretty soon I'm gonna have part 2, and it's gonna have a lot more tips and tricks when you are first starting out.